And I also realized there are certain people that will be there for you. You have, life happens. It's just shifting plans and knowing that your end goal is to ultimately either finish an Ironman, finish an ultra, do whatever you want to do, but it's ultimately just to be your best self. And the timeline is what you make of it.
Yes. All right, we are live again. Hi, Ironman Beyond, busy high achievers all over the world. This is Coach Shangrila and Vineta. We have two special guests, and today is going to be very, very powerful training. It's very powerful training, and let me just show to you what we're going to be talking about. Okay, so for you guys who are just tuning in, and this is your first time tuning in Ironman and Beyond, welcome. We do this one on a weekly basis. This is a way for us to be giving back to the community. And today we're going to talk about training before, during, and after surgery. Okay. And I know you might be hearing, okay, well, I'm not going through surgery. Why am I going to be listening? Okay. Well, what we're going to be talking about today, yes, is going to be a lot about it. Is about our two special guests who have come out before, during, and after surgery, powerful. But at the same time, what we're going to be talking about, I do know that it's going to be beneficial, especially if currently you are dealing with some setbacks. It could be illness, injury, okay, accidents, death within the family. Things
that are hard.
Things are hard that sometimes you just want to just stop, So let me read through here. So training before, during, and after surgery. So how to stay on track with health goals through physical and mental training despite surgery. Okay, let's just go through the topics here. So for example, accident, surgery, injury, illness. If you know someone, or if you or someone that you know of who would benefit from this, tag them, invite them, because we're about to get started. We're actually starting now, but we're going to go through and talk about this one, how to deal with disappointment and worry of needing a surgery. Or for example, let's just say you had a bike accident, knock on wood, hopefully not, please, we don't want that at all. Okay. If something like, okay, I think, or like you went to the doctor and you're like wanting to actually have a second opinion, like there's a possibility that you're going to have a surgery, and like you have all these plans for this year, and then suddenly that something happened that it's out of your control. So how do you deal with that? It's not just disappointment. It could be different emotional that's going to come up. Yeah. So it's actually a sensitive topic. And I would love to hear from each and every one of you guys that, if what we're talking about resonate to you, just would love to hear what you think or feel. And if you're more than welcome to just sit back there, learn from it, and then digest it later. Okay. But our intention is to really help you guys out. Okay. So what to do to continue to be on track with health and fitness goals during this process, how to physically and mentally prepare for surgery, both physically, mentally prepare before surgery, how to speed up recovery after surgery. We will touch base. We have Leo here. I've gone through several surgeries actually. Some are torn ACL, meniscus, partial knee replacement, disc replacement. We have also Andrea, who just recently had her first surgery, shoulder surgery, some training injuries. What about toll of negative self-talk, doubts, not knowing what to expect, fear of re-injuring oneself? Okay, who so far are able to relate from this?
Megan says she had a ligament surgery on her ankle today.
Oh my goodness,
my gosh, Megan. Today.
Megan, how are you doing? Big hugs. I'm glad that it's perfect timing. There you go. This one, you'll benefit a lot from this one. The fine line between having a strong mind versus knowing when is the right time to push beyond physical limitation. Okay. Like there's the mentality, suck it up. Hey, it's endurance, endure the pain. But then what is pain? There's different levels of pain, but what is the fine line? What is the fine line of having a strong mindset? Do you feel weak when you feel like you have to back off? So we are going to also touch base of that. Let me see. Aiming for Ironman after a bike accident, surgery for Andrea. So that's actually what she had experienced recently. And then for Leo, multiple surgeries. You're going to hear a lot more from them. It'll be better for them to tell their story. And then the next thing, the best part of it is how to resume training after surgery. The more of like the excitement, like, there's this uncertain, the fear, uncertainty, and then there's this like acceptance, going through the process, reality, but just like living life and then just going out. But then should the living life be after the recovery of surgery? Or should it be, how can we continue to be okay, to be happy, to be smiling during going through the recovery of surgery, right? Because it's tough, especially us who's so used to like just working out almost every single day. It's what makes us happy. It's the adrenaline, right? Hanging out with friends. There's a reason to hang out, seeing friends, right? But then now, like once you have that surgery, how can you actually adjust from that? And like I said, this one is not just for people who are about to have surgery. How about those people who are just had injury? Again, knock on woods. We don't want that. Okay. Let me see. So today, and then, or also the next one is how to transition from, can I do an Ironman even after my surgery? Can I still do it? To, I can do an Ironman, like confidently. Okay. So super excited for today's training. Okay, Vineta. So this is Vineta. If you have not seen her in of our other previous weekly training, she's here to help me out. And this, like I said, this one is a two-way conversation. We want to hear from you. We want to make sure that you're actually getting a lot from this live training. So let's see who's on the call right now.
Hi, Yesenia. Glad you could call in. Jennifer is watching.
All right, Jennifer, congrats.
Megan, Clint's watching.
Awesome, Clint.
Gloria's watching. Awesome. Welcome, everybody.
Awesome. All right. Well, if you are watching this live, put hashtag live so we know you're here live. And if you're watching this one on replay, well, hashtag replay. We'd want to hear from you, and then we'll definitely get back to it and to actually conversate with you and then have a conversation. All right. So, well, welcome everyone. So who here is looking forward to actually learn from this, or who's here like having a setback on like illness, injury? Okay. And I know,
put it in the comments right now so we know what's going on.
Okay. Because Megan, hopefully you're doing good so far, maybe in painkiller, some pain meds, right? So hopefully you will be, it will be a fast recovery for you as well. All right. Anyone else? Hey, Gladstone, welcome. All right. Well, let's introduce Andrea. Hello, Andrea, and Leo, both from California. How are you both doing? All right. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for actually coming on today on our live training. And, I've seen you both, when you're like really pumped up into training and suddenly like, oops, all right, coach, you know what? I do have to get surgery, like you made a decision, right? And then, so it was before. So we saw how it was before, and then the next thing is during, and then now it's after. Okay. But before we talk about that one, love your $1 million smile and warrior spirit. We've seen that one. Okay. Before we talk about that, the surgery, let's talk about like how we met. Okay. So let's start with, it was not long ago, right? Andrea, how did you find Feisty Coaching, Andrea? And were you training for triathlon then? How was life then? It was not a long time ago, right?
With meeting you, it's funny. We were actually introduced through a mutual friend. I was trying my first sprint triathlon with my beach bike, which was super heavy. And it's like a $50 garage bike that I bought
Hey, $50 garage bike. It got you to the finish line, right? The sprint triathlon. I was sharing this one.
It actually got me through my first Bayshore triathlon. That sucker got me through. And I actually got the first flat tire with that one too.
Okay.
And I was second to last to finish on my first Bayshore triathlon, but I finished it.
And when was that one? When was that one?
I should have listened to Coach Shangrila because she says, prepare to pack your CO2 cartridges and make sure you have a backup and prepare to change your flats, but I didn't do it. So thankfully somebody helped me out along the way to like change a flat tire. But yeah, I met you through my
mutual friend.
And I went to Dockweiler, I think on our first swim, and you were just so kind and so generous to share with me like a goggle along with a swim cap, because my goggles completely washed off my face because they were cheap goggles. They were like $20 goggles that I got off of like, you know, the quality of the materials you use for triathlon or any type of a sport really does matter. So I spent like I think it was like $10 goggles. And you said, you know,
got you through though.
And they've actually, the ones you recommended are still with me. And awesome. I go out to the ocean and swim with them to this day, the ones that you recommended. So
and I still think on your first open water swim also, I don't think you actually even have a wetsuit yet.
No.
That's it? What kind is this for surf?
Yeah, it's for surfing. I just bought it because I said, I want to try surfing. You know, when I first met you, I said, I was trying to surf, but I didn't even go out. I tried surfing and it was not going well. I actually had a panic attack because I didn't know how to swim in the ocean. So that's why I tried to learn how to do triathlons, because I wanted to learn how to swim first.
Gotcha.
So I wanted to work with you because I knew that I would perfect the technique.
Well, this one was not a long time ago, right? And I know we're not, by the way, today is not a swim topic. However, it could be a bonus. She could tell you more of like how she actually got this result in 30 days. Congrats. So she actually started with us. It was not a long time ago. It was one of our 30-day swim boot camp allowed. It was just like last year, about August. So she started with a critical swim speed of 2:29 minutes per 100 yards, came down to sub 2 minutes per 100 yards, 1:56, and that was actually within 30 days.
Impressive.
And look at that. She's still wearing it wasn't a wetsuit yet. And it's such a great thing to actually, remember like where you come from. And now you're like a beast in like just fearless in the ocean. But like I said, today is not a swim stuff. However, we'll get a bonus of like how she actually got that one in 30 days. We'll talk about that later. We're going to focus on the topic. But then there's an unfortunate thing that happened. It was her shoulder. Okay. But before going through the shoulder surgery, before going through the shoulder surgery, let's talk about Leo. Leo. How did we meet? I have not met you in person. We've been just talking. Tell us how you find feistyfox coaching, Leo.
Well, last year I completed my first sprint triathlon. It was just, I've been working a lot on my swim. I did some bike and then running, and I just entered just for the heck of it. And all of a sudden, when I finished it, I looked at the results. I came in third in my age group, and I was like, wow, that's working something here. And back in my mind, while I was still in the military, I always wanted to do the Ironman, but it was very intimidating for me at that moment because one, I wasn't as good at swimming, and two, I didn't really practice on the bike. I did mostly a lot of running and lifting.
Gotcha.
So after finishing that sprint, I pretty much I started like, you know what, I need to train right, because my past injuries and just training 100% the whole time, I need to change that mindset. Like I need a professional help. So I started looking up online, and then all of a sudden I logged into Facebook one day, and I guess the algorithm popped in and feistyfox came out, and I was like, okay, let me check this out. And training the whole time. So I logged in there, looked, I was like, wow, some of the other coaches that I've seen today, there's a little bit more of like for the advanced people, and I was like, I'm not there yet.
Not advanced, right?
I need more, kind of within, my scope. That's, kind of like my personality, and I found it like with the with the tribe and the openness and a lot of similarities within myself. So I was like, you know what? Let me contact Coach Shangrila here and see what happens. And pretty much that first conversation we had, I was like, wow, this is it. This is definitely what I needed. And I don't need somebody to constantly, hammer me down to, hey, do this, do this, do this. I've done that for 6.5 years for serving in the Marine Corps. So I just need somebody more of a, okay, here's the workout. Do it this way, the right way, and actually do it step by step instead of just going. Because in my mindset, it's either go 100% or don't go at all.
Don't go at all. Yeah.
The mindset now is a lot different. It's a lot different thanks to you and your knowledge of, the coaching that you giving me, and pretty much that's how we met.
Yeah. So everyone, love everything that Leo said. So he came from Ironman and beyond as well. He was, just like a lot of our athletes, just, like learning a lot, but then, hey, I want like more specific workouts. I need help for my big dreams. And one of them is actually Leo. And when we were talking to him, so he came from military. When we were talking to him, we were actually shocked because he had several surgeries already. How many surgeries have you had, Leo?
10.
So
Total.
10. And the last one was January.
Yes.
And you started coaching in the beginning of December, which is crazy.
So he, like he said a lot of great things about that. We love you, Leo, but I felt like we've known you for a while, but honestly, like he just started coaching on December only.
That's 2.5 months ago.
Is that December, January, February, December? Yeah. And then when he started, he also told us, but coach, I want to start my coaching on December, but I'm going to go for a surgery on January. Like it's already scheduled, right? You guys did you guys hear that? So you guys can already hear the thought process on that one. Like a lot of other athletes or a lot of other individuals, like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get help on coaching later on after I recover from surgery. But he did the other way around. It's like, that's not normal, Leo. Right? Don't you think? Yeah, that's not normal. So what made you to actually like, hey, I want the coaching now?
Well, basically it came down to thinking ahead and thinking about my recovery. It's like, okay, I know I'm going to get surgery. If I don't at least get as best shape as I can, I'm probably going to be struggling on my recovery. So might as well start getting the coaching, learning the technique, and get my body used to it, drop weight, and get in better shape so that when it comes to surgery, recovery time, it'll be a lot quicker than being out of shape and having all this. Because I've already had so many surgeries and arthritis all over my joints, and being, sedentary and out of shape is basically, out of the question. So I need to learn this technique because, when I get back, hopefully it'll be a lot easier than, instead of just, crawling, I'll be at least walking, coming back. So that was the mindset doing it earlier.
Makes sense. Well, yeah, you did well, actually. I mean, so one, like I said, Leah's from military, is like, coach, what if I do because we had this 12 days before Christmas challenge, 12 days before Christmas challenge. And like, he's like really pumped up. He actually, coach, I'm going to swim 2,000 yards, 2,000 yards or 2,000 meters every day for 12 days. He's actually one of them who completed it. props to that, Leo. And then from then, you know, like I've seen him actually learning proper swim technique as well. And so let's for everyone who's just joining in, let's say hello to the new people. Hey, Bob, how you doing, Bob? 2 months past surgery, rotator cuff and bicep tendon. How's it going, Bob? Going good? I would love to hear from you, and then, you know, share your insights as well if you're missing something. Gloria, hello. Simon, how's it going, Simon? All right. Well, let's. So what we want to talk about is, you know, like before, during, and after, right? So
Leo made some really smart decisions of strategically approaching and trying to shorten the recovery period by putting himself in the best position to be healthy before the surgery and to really start getting on track before anything happens, so that he already has that momentum, even though he knows, oh, the surgery is coming up, but he still did it anyways. And that I think it really helped him.
Yeah,
really put him on in motion towards where he really wanted to go.
well, how are you guys doing that? You know, Andrea and Leo. So like, for example, actually, let's talk about Andrea. Yours is, you know, you did not even expect it, right? You did not expect it. And then walk us through what happened to that. It was a bike accident, right? When you had that bike accident, did you know that you will have a surgery?
No. So this was a group workout, and it was a bike accident that I experienced, but thankfully I was able to haul an Uber and ask the Uber. I called the Uber. I said, hey, can you help me lift this bike to my car? And I just drove my butt to the ER. And from there, you know, the clavicle was completely separated from my AC joint, but I decided, you know what, I have to get surgery. It's just way too separated. Yeah, that's a good image of it. So the image,
Scary.
the image
I make it enlarge there. I don't like blood, honestly. That's why I'm not a doctor. I'm gonna hide it. But go ahead.
from October, and then the one in the left is after the surgery, is in December, from when they decided to actually go ahead and do it. And I'm really grateful that I had my mom help me for about a week to be able to help me move around. But you know what? I've worked over, you know, thanks to Shangrila and her coaching, and also with a few nutritional therapists that I was working with over the last year, and just overall people that have helped and coached me about nutrition. It really is about inflammatory foods that you eat that help you before you go through these types of surgeries, because they are traumas. You know, your body experiences them as traumas. And even now, when I get on like my trainer, which is like, you know, back there, my body kind of tenses up and it feels like, oh my God, you're going to fall. But I have to like put myself down and kind of like hug myself and be like, you're going to be fine. So, you know, when I go out now and do bike rides, you know, your body feels like it might be a trauma, but you have to slowly ease your way back into it and just get back on the trainer. You know, you might have to readapt some pedals, you know, the old typical pedals to it instead of the, you know, shoe fit pedals, and then slowly ease your way back into it, because, you know, your brain experiences it differently. And it's just getting over that fear, because it's the same thing like going out in the ocean. So I have these IT bands, like, you know, for physical therapy. So I just have to listen to the physical therapist and just follow the PT exercises every day. So every night before I go to sleep, I do the PT exercises along with some abdominal core work.
Sure.
Just to strengthen my shoulder workouts, and then put some CBD or arnica oil on it before I sleep in case I feel some inflammation. So it's like an all-encompassing thing, you know, it's a daily thing of healing.
Yeah. You actually mentioned a lot of things,
A lot of tools.
Yeah, a lot of tools already. So you guys, make sure you're actually taking notes if you're going through something. She mentioned even like the nutrition factor of it, the inflammation, making sure that you actually focus more on anti-inflammatory foods because that affects as well in terms of the recovery. I mean, even though you don't have surgery, I mean, even if just we're training, and that's how we recover. I'm glad that you actually brought that up. The mindset, you mentioned that also. When you had, when you learned about the date of your surgery, and you as well, Leo, when you know that there's a schedule, yours, I know, Andrea, it's around December, and I know for you, Leo, it was January, right? When you learn about the date of your surgery, what were the feelings that came up?
Well,
Ed?
for
Leo.
me, it was I was nervous
Nervous?
because before the back surgery, when I was in the military, I had two major surgeries back to back. They replaced a disc in my neck, and then
Yikes.
2 weeks later, they did a partial knee replacement.
Wow.
So pretty much, I was incapacitated for
Yeah.
the next 3 years. It was just straight trying to recover and all that, and you know, I was nervous this time because it was the back.
Yeah.
I was like,
Back
but
surgery is
back
pretty.
surgery, and I was kind of thinking like a negative. What would they mess something up in there, or I can't walk? But later on, I was just like, you know what? Just deal with it. Try not to think about it. Just try to get in the best shape as you can.
Yeah.
When you're done with the surgery, hopefully the recovery goes better. And Andrea put on a really good some notes too about the food that you eat. And I
Yeah.
did a lot of research on that too. I stuck to the foods that doesn't cause a lot of inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
Ate a lot of those, and I think it pretty much just helped with the recovery, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. And yeah, it's just being nervous.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you focused on the things you can do rather than the things that you cannot affect or change.
Yeah, I actually like it looks like the approach of I remember also like back in December when Leo and I were talking, and I know one of the things that he had told me, Coach, I want to make the most out of what I can do right now in December, because I know. So like if you think we can attempt a 70.3 distance, we'll do it, So he also had that attempt. Like he's just basically, it's kind of like, I'll make the month of December the best month. Make the most, because it's like, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, did you think like you'll never know what's gonna come later, so you
Yes.
might as well just do everything right now, because
Exactly.
like you had a lot of surgery and you don't know what to expect, how long, right? And this one, I think part of it is a fear that it's your back, and it's your first time surgery for your back, right?
Yes. And yeah, you're definitely right. Try to make it as best as I can and get a little taste of what the simulation is going to be in the training. So
Sure.
pretty much, yeah, that was my mindset.
Gotcha. I mean, I totally understand that. And I love how it is staying in the present. It's very, very important. Like I said, again, this is not just when you have surgery. I know there's a lot of things that we may be fearing, like it's in the future, right? But if you think about it, it's hard to control that. So I love that, Leo. Let's ask Andrea. How about you? What was the emotion that came up? Because actually, for you when we were talking, you had the choice whether to actually have a surgery or not. But you went through for surgery. It was a hard decision, but like, you know what? I want to do this one. So what were the feeling that came up, and how did you deal towards that surgery date?
It's interesting. I know we're all talking about surgery here, but I actually don't see this as a surgery discussion, because
Okay.
in reality, I feel as if whenever this conversation is more about mindset, because a lot of people, surgery for me was more like a break. I look at it like, oh, how soon can I come back to my triathlon, or how soon can I come back to working out? Because it was torture for me to not exercise or be active. Because I think one of your yoga experts, Mr. Brandon Meany, he said, if I was to date somebody who is not into exercising or not into movement, we would not get along, because I'm addicted to movement. And it's true for me. So I saw having surgery as kind of like a break. So if you're talking to somebody who is going to have surgery, yeah, it's going to be a break. You're going to get off track. It's going to be a little bit of a shift in mindset. And yes, you're going to derail from your plans in a way, and you're going to have to go back into a different type of rhythm. So that's the way I saw it. I didn't really see it like, oh, this is the end of,
Yeah. Okay.
my life is over. I just saw that, people are going to be there for you in a different kind of way or capacity. I ended a relationship because of my surgery, because I saw that my partner I was with treated me badly because of that surgery. And I said, okay, I guess you're not there for me for the right reasons. And I also realized, there are certain people that will be there for you. You have to plan certain things around these, you have to defer races. You have, life happens. So it's just shifting plans, and knowing that your end goal is to ultimately either finish an Ironman, finish an ultra, do whatever you want to do, but it's ultimately just to be your best self. And the timeline is what you make of it. It's the same thing with my career. And as I think I might have mentioned this earlier, your life goals and my life, the way I've seen it now, is like Ironman and triathlon has shifted my life tremendously in so many ways, in just every aspect of my life.
Wow.
In investments, in everything. Like, it's boosted my confidence in every aspect. So, this has just been a little bump in the road. It's just helped me in confidence in every way, So that's the way I see it.
Days. Wow. We combined the surgery and then also and the triathlon there. And it's more of like how it has changed, transformed your life to a better way, not just, in sports, but even in relationship, finding the better person. And then also in investment in your work. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's very powerful to hear a perspective that's not based on, hey, this is what I'm losing.
This is gaining. It's every aspect of your life that it shifts. It's not just a surgery. It's everything. It's a mindset shift. Right. Some people lost sight of, I haven't worked out in 3 weeks. Oh, okay. But you can get back to it.
Yep. Good stuff. Gloria said, that is my super goal. Hello, Max. I'm glad to hear, Bob. I'm glad to hear. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Ellen's here. Hi, Ellen.
Ellen, hello. If you guys are just tuning in, we're talking about how to recover or mentally train, let me say, training before, during, and after surgery. But then, it also talks about like how to deal with setbacks. And a lot of what we're talking about, like it's evolving through a lot about mindset. So like basically, if you're having a hard time right now, this training will definitely help you. So if you're here, just put #live. I'll say hello so we know if you're here. And then let's keep continuing. Hello, Max. And you said, well said, Andrea. Jen said, "This is so inspiring. Thanks for your story." Okay. And then thanks, Andrea and Leo. So now the next question that we do have is that like, okay, so you went to the surgery, of course, right? And then now you're going through the recovery, right? So tell us how, like for those, for example, I believe hopefully Megan is still here. For those who have gone through surgery, how did you guys go through during the recovery? Because it seems like considering, like, for example, for Leo, I know his timeline because he just got back to working out again. And I think it's only been about a month, So he had a surgery on his back on January and he just got back around end of February, or March. And his FTP, he's like, he didn't have surgery. Okay. And we're talking about his back surgery. Back is big. Back is big. And, his FTP is right back to 200 watts. I mean, he's a little bit more about, I think if I'm not mistaken, about 220 watts before, but he's back to 200 watts, and he just did his round test. I think it was just yesterday, and he's back to sub 9 minutes per mile.
Ooh.
And then I haven't done, right back. I know I'm building him up for the swimming, and he's already at 145, and he has not even really put so much. We're just getting the groove, making sure that we don't push him so much either, but before that, while you're going through the recovery, how did you go through that? Considering that, just coming off from the hospital, right? You can't really move as much, right? And I know you guys stayed with us, not necessarily working out the way you guys were working out. By the way, training is not just physical. We're also talking about mental training here. Okay, so we want to know how you guys went through it, and then how you guys kept positive, and then looking forward for, what's coming up. Let's ask Leo.
So about basically for me is a lot of mental repetition, meaning that before, I might get a little personal here. While in the military, and also I suffered from PTSD and been through a lot of dark places and all that, and going through it, especially when I told you, coach, that hey, I might have to take a break, I might have to get out of the coaching for a while, and let's go through the surgery. And you guys suggested, hey, just stay within the program, at least get access to the website, the tribe, and basically that gave me a lot of motivation to just trying to every day I go in there and look for something like the recovery. And we talked earlier, and for me, like I suffered a lot from arthritis, and I need to move. So any movements, a slight stretch, whatever helps, and that's what I did. My recovery was just one day at a time, just move, and then in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'll say to them, okay, could slowly bend over or twist a little bit. So I'm gonna try to see the yoga, and I saw the one with Dr. Nini in there, and his yoga is perfect for me because it's a lot more relaxing, and it's not as strenuous like other yoga programs that's out there that gets you sweating. I need something just more of a relaxing and work on the target spots, and that's what I did. Just constantly moving and keep the mental positive mindset. That's my every day. Positive mindset.
Yeah.
Get through this. You're gonna get through this, and back when I had those 2 major surgeries, it took me 3 years to get back to training, working out. I was like, no, you're not gonna take 3 years. You're gonna take whatever the doctor said 8 weeks to recover, and you're gonna start going through it again, because in your mind before, I don't my mind was, I asked myself, could I do an Ironman? I was like, no, you will do an Ironman. That's why you sign up yourself for Ironman Arizona. You will get there in the starting line and finish it no matter what. So that was my mindset. Just all right, keep going. And I'm looking at videos on YouTube about Ironman Arizona, anything I could do to keep my mind occupied, and that helped me a lot with my recovery.
Amazing. I think it's really good that you said that you signed up before you had your surgery, right? Love it. And I think that's something, I think that was to me, I think that's a great strategy, actually, something to look forward to. And then instead of like, there's this North Star here that's actually keeping you positive no matter what, because it's right here, no matter what. And what he had done is actually, he said, like, his goal is like movement, any movement. And he had mentioned about yoga as well. And then the next thing is that you said that you were in Tribe, and you mentioned, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, yeah, about the body maintenance as well. Is that so you consumed and learned, and is that what you were doing also? Tell us more about that.
Yes, the body maintenance, a lot of it, like how to use the lacrosse ball properly. Because before that, I'd say, oh, just put it there and do it this way. You actually had some videos in there, how to target the spots and, how to recover, the type of stuff that you take, like when you're, feeling sore after a workout, what supplements you should take to help you recover. And that's pretty much, I've studied all that. And I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I even wrote it down. Here's my book right here. I wrote it down here, all that stuff. Just trying to, gain the knowledge and try to remember, okay, this is the stuff that I need to do, be able to recover faster.
Amazing.
Train injury free and get me on my way to, November for Ironman Arizona.
I love that. I love that. While you knew that you would be somewhat paused on the physical aspect, you were building yourself mentally. You were learning and you were growing and you were figuring out, how do I take care of my body better? How do I recover faster? How do I do the right things? How do I target the trigger points? All of that. I love it.
He was studying. He was studying. I remember he told us earlier, like, is Feistyfox coaching for me? I'm like, I think it's kind of advanced, but what he's doing is like, he's actually like really like a sponge learning. And what he's talking about, we have a lot of this training resource here actually for our athletes. We're talking about body maintenance, pain and injury. It's not just me who's actually conducting these classes. We have our Dr. Michelle, who's a doctor in sports psychology. We have also professional masseuse. I have myself. I have other PTs here and a lot of demos. And it's not just about back. It's actually like, for example, how often should I be doing the rotator cuff, like simple things, rotator cuff band work, help on your calf, discomfort or pain on your shoulder when swimming. So there's like, how do you recover fast? Are these the ones that you were like consuming or maybe not?
Yes, pretty much.
So if I ask you, can you teach? I'm just kidding. Good stuff. You'll be the art teacher. Nice. And did you show that you were taking notes?
Yes, I do.
Good job. Man.
Nice. That is
love
amazing.
it.
I love it. He's going to be the expert of recovery and taking care of the body after all this.
Yeah, good stuff. Because I did a lot of research there too. You saw it, huh? It's pretty good stuff. All right, let's talk about Andrea. Andrea, so what did you do? Oh, yeah, we're going to go back to you because I remember something about the mindset that you were actually doing, Leo. But we're going to get back to you, Leo. Andrea, so how about you? What were you doing during the training?
Oh, during the training to recover?
Yeah.
During the surgery. You mean, right?
No, when you're already recovering from your surgery.
Okay.
Oh, things first, it's cleansing.
Cleansing. Tell us more about that.
Cleansing my mind, body, and soul, essentially. So,
wow.
So I remember when before I had the accident, I was doing a one-on-one coaching with you.
Sure.
Honestly, I don't think I could have gone through this without doing one-on-one with you, because the one-on-one coaching with you was really helpful, because I had you recommended a book called Atomic Habits, and it's a really good book. I had a really bad habit of having snacks during the day that were not. So nutrition is key, because your body gets so inflamed, and my body puts on a lot of weight just naturally when it's not moving. So having the right nutrition next to me always, and just consuming a lot of greens and salads. And if I wanted to snack on anything, it would be fruit, basically.
Sure.
walking around, getting sunshine, napping, so it's just a lot of good habits. And, more than anything is just establish a good morning routine, because first thing you do when you wake up, if you check your email, you're basically on everyone else's agenda. It's not your own agenda. So it's just establishing a really good morning routine and having peace with yourself and stretching. And even this morning when I woke up, like I went on for a 2.5 mile run, but before that I did that hip body maintenance that you recommended to activate, your glutes and whatnot. And it really did help my run. So yeah, it's just getting into that good morning routine. And I know that the rest of the day it's just going to be like today we had a $500 million closing at my work, and it's just a lot of things moving and shaking, but it's just having that time for yourself. And it's really important to do that for you. But more than anything, it's just sticking to your own commitments to yourself and honoring that for you. And, these resistance bands always help for sure.
Good stuff. I love it. What she had mentioned was Atomic Habits. So it's a great book. If you have not seen it, go ahead and check it out. So we love books in Feisty Tribe, Feistyfox Coaching. We share books. What's good stuff. Resistance band is one of those. I know Leo also mentioned about lacrosse ball. We teach them how to use it and the trigger points. So to actually okay, if this one is hurting, where you go. So we teach that. Even resistance band, if they go to travel, they will see in their training peaks, bring lacrosse ball and resistance band.
Yeah.
What she also said during the recovery, she mentioned about cleansing. You said physical and even soul, body and soul. Nice.
Right. Yeah. I travel a lot. So these resistance bands are really helpful to travel with, and I do a lot of, vacation, what's it called? I do destination traveling for my races. So if I want to go to Mount Rushmore, I'm planning to do a race this summer for Mount Rushmore, leading ladies marathon, something like that. So I want to make sure I pack the resistance bands or pack the nutrition and just that race checklist that I always check that race checklist before I do I always check it off, before I do any kind of race, because I never, ever in my life want to get a flat tire ever again.
All right. She is mentioning a lot of tools here. All right. So let's, so our viewers know what she's talking about. She mentioned about the hip body maintenance. Hopefully I can pull that up in a bit. That hip body maintenance, and I was telling everyone, this is the same 10-minute exercise that I was doing back in 2020 when I cycled across America from Borrego, California to Savannah, Georgia in 18 days. And I only have 1 hour to pack everything, prepare my bike, get my breakfast, and of course, do my body maintenance. Remember, if you want to know more about the body maintenance, put hashtag body maintenance down below on this live training. So our team members can actually give you that live training. But this is basically the hip body maintenance. And this one covers of how I was able to actually cycle across America without, without getting injured. Okay. And also being able to still run. The next thing that she also mentioned is is it this one that you mentioned, the race checklist?
Yeah, that race checklist, I have to use it every time because I travel a lot and I never pack bags. I always have to do carry-on everywhere I travel. Even when I travel to Europe, I always do carry-on.
Wow.
So I travel for Europe for 2 weeks and I always carry on my bags. I backpack and it's carry-on. So that checklist, I have to travel light.
All right. So we did talk about a lot of things, but I wanted to go back is to what Leo during the recovery. This one is actually, we'll make it quick. Okay. We did a champion is a novice. Do you remember this, Leo?
Yes.
A champion is a novice. Okay. This was maybe a couple weeks after your surgery. Okay, because it's 24, January 24. Okay. It's mainly because, like what we were talking about, coach, I don't think I'll be beating my previous time, but I want to finish strong and enjoy it again. So some athletes are actually like, coach, they're getting anxious of what's coming up. So what do you do? And then one of the things that Leo actually mentioned here, if I can find it. All right here. And Leo said, I'm going to make it larger. Okay. For me, it was definitely the mindset. As you know, I'm reclining. The lows were definitely difficult because I go back and think myself, am I able to recover from this? Why is my legs get numb here and there? My anxiety and depression goes up and all these negative thoughts. You hit the nail on the head when you said to be kind to yourself and keep moving forward. I've been applying that to myself these last few days and it's been doing good. Knowing that I have a mission in completing Ironmans, I need to recover properly in order to do that. Okay. This was 2 weeks. Is it you're at right now? You just finished a 9 minute per mile of a run test yesterday, and you're back to 200 watts, and you're back to 145 minutes per 100 yards on your swim. Do you remember saying that? Do you feel like, oh wow, I said that? I was having a hard time, but how do you feel now, Leo?
Oh, I mean, seeing that again, it's kind of like, wow, it's definitely, it motivates me. It motivates me because, just like you said, keep moving forward and changing that mindset from negative to positive and having that mission, that purpose. And pretty much, I looked at it and, that's part of me because I've searched after I retired, got medically retired, I pretty much had no meaning of what am I going to do now? That's
Yeah.
what I've been doing for 16 and a half years. And now
Yeah.
it got ripped off of me. Now with this, going through the surgery again, I have that negative thought, but going through just moving forward, having that positive mindset, it gives you the motivation to just keep going and looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I mean, if you think about it, considering of how your thoughts and your fears, some worries back then, when you had an accident, for example, Andrea, right? And then now there's a surgery and during the recovery. And then, I don't know, to me, the way I see things is that whenever there's a challenge and it's so hard, this is what I tell myself. This too will pass as well, just like other things. This too shall pass. And all we can do is breathe, deep breathe. Yeah, because sometimes it's just so hard. You could cry, but this too shall pass. Because like that too. What how Leo was saying, he was getting anxiety. That was after just 2 weeks, and it's understandable, right? But guess what? You're like killing the training, Leo. Killing the training.
And Leo, if you're out doing exercise and you start feeling pain, I think I remember Coach Shangrila recommended a few products. She has like this template of like hot and cold products that she recommended for application. I actually like there's like sports gels and like hot and cold products that you can like pack in a little travel size thing. I pack those in my bag and I apply them if I'm ever starting to feel pain.
Sure.
If you're ever like, out on a run or on a bike, like the chamois cream, if you start to feel chafing, you can put that on. And if I'm running and I start to feel like, like my shoulder feels like it has a little bit of pain, I start to put cream and then it kind of goes away. So if there's ever a problem or a pain, you can apply a cream and it can go away. So it's like, it's more that fear that makes that intensifies it,
Gotcha.
That fear is what tensifies it and makes us like tense up,
Gotcha.
The biggest thing about recovery was, for me was the pain, because I've been through so much pain and I was afraid of pain and just suffering through it. But now with the mindset is that, yeah, pain's gonna be there, but like you said, it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass. Just think of the positive. I know I'm gonna be in pain the rest of my life, but it's just the mindset of, keep
Yeah.
going, keep
Yeah.
going. I've been through a lot, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just mindset.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I was in the hospital just, on Christmas Eve, just December 24th, 25th, 2 days. So that's where I spent just last year. And I couldn't move. And it was so painful. I couldn't even stand up. I couldn't even go to the restroom. I couldn't even walk 10 yards without pain. But you know what I did have is I was moving, and I have a conscious mind that I can actually, hey, I'm here in the hospital, I'm doing okay. Like it's the brain, the mind, and I'm okay. And I can see like Vinetta, my loved ones. But yeah, no, it's tough. And then that's like, it's just tough. All right. Good stuff.
Awesome. Those are some,
Yeah,
wow. Some
Claudia,
tools, some
welcome,
serious-
welcome. We got Negative, Claudia. Let's do Claudia. All right, Max.
Good to see you
Amazing.
guys.
Power of the mind. Glad you guys are loving it.
Okay, so I have a question for you, Leo. What made the biggest difference for you working together with Coach Shangrila and the rest of the team?
The biggest difference is training the right way. That's
What
the
biggest difference is what? Sorry.
training the right way.
Training the right way.
Yes, because before that, so like I mentioned earlier, it's 100% or go home. And yeah, when I was younger, I was able to recover from it. Nothing, no issues the next day. But the more I get older and the injuries have, acquired, the surgeries, I had to train smarter. And I needed some, professional help how to do it the right way, because if I was doing it my way, I would have been probably broken from that. Just
And
all that and swimming, how many yards per day, and just think that the more is better. Volume is better, more intensity is better, which is not. I mean, it got to the point some of the workouts, is the run, the bike, was like so slow, and like, wow. Like, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but coach says it's gonna work, so I'm gonna trust the process. And he actually did. I'm all the training that I've done so far, I'm injury free. Yeah, a little soreness here and there, but injury free, and not just for the body, but for the mind, because my mind is not constantly overtrained and thinking I'm tired. Like, man, I don't have enough.
yeah, yeah.
Push it today. I actually like, okay, you're sore, but mentally you're okay. You can do this. But if I was gonna revert back to my old training days, I'd be like, oh boy, here we go. Just go 100%. Go for broke every day. But that's the biggest difference I have with training the right way.
So training always hard is not good. Not good at all. Yeah. All right. So he mentioned that there are things that like the workout is just so easy, and he was asking, am I doing the right way? But it looks like you trust the process and you're loving it.
Yeah. Injury free.
All right.
Nice, I like
And
that.
you're still injury free. No. Okay. Good stuff.
Right. What about you, Andrea? What made the biggest difference for you working together with Coach Shangrila and the rest of the team?
I'm really selective of my coaches. Well, told me she's really picky about her coaches. I'm the same way. I've selected coaches for real estate, for anything that I want to learn and be involved with and really develop myself. And I want to know that my coach lives it, breathes it, sleeps with it, wakes up with it, and this is who she is. And the one thing I really love that she made an impact with me on is that she tells me there's no excuse for that, like there's no excuses. And if you want to make it happen, you make it happen. So that's what I love about her. If there's anything missing in your game plan, you can either order it or you figure out a way on how to make it like cost effective for you if you don't make enough money. And that's okay, or you figure out, just you find a way. and that's what I love about her, because she found a way on how to make her transcontinental, 1 in a million shot out in, I think it was in Siberia somewhere in Russia.
I know. I didn't.
Like a bunch of men that she was riding with in the rain, in the snow, or like all these crazy conditions. And I love that, like I love watching people that are like David Goggins, who are like, can't hurt me, even if there's like nothing left in them, but their why is what's important. And that influence is what's really, really made a big impact on me. And that's why I really don't have any fear of going out to the ocean, even myself now. But it's really important to just have a buddy to do.
Oh yeah. Again, I'm glad you're saying that.
So so now I really don't have a fear of going out to the ocean with a friend and going for a swim, even if the conditions are not great, if it's windy, whatever it is, or doing 100-mile bike rides, or even if it's going to hurt, even if it's going to suck. Embrace the suck, embrace that it's not going to be the greatest conditions, that your environment be the best, but you're going to make it through, because at the end of the day, you have to know why you're doing it. You're doing it for you, and why you want to be the best possible you can be, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. So just make the best of today. That's why.
Wow. Well, thank you, Andrea. I really want us to find a way. Sometimes it's just like so impossible, but we have a choice whether to go for it or not, that's the great thing about human beings. We have a choice. Now, there are so many choices, right? There are so many choices. You can also choose whether you can do it or not. You choose it. And then now when you choose it, you just find a way. I know that we talked about it, like, for example, Andrea, I don't know if you guys remember, I can't find her picture anymore, but, like she said that, those bikes were expensive at the time. She said that she couldn't afford those things. Okay. And, what happened is that, and even the Ironman, okay, so this, I'm going to pull it up, and right here, she started from this, a $50, cruise bike, and she actually finished with a sprint triathlon with this, really, really heavy, and that was only last year. And then she said,
she didn't use the I don't have a good bike to not do the sprint.
You don't really have, you don't really need any bike, as long as it's moving forward. They got 2 wheels, take it, take it. And she did that. And then later on, she got this one, I want a bike. But she doesn't have the budget yet. Guess what? She told me she worked hard for it and she earned it. It's like, you want something, what I like about Andrea that I know is that, she wants this one.
Yeah, look at that.
There you go. She wants something here. She committed to the want. She made the choice. The how to get there, she'll figure it out. Same as Leo, how to get there after the surgery, we'll figure it out. But I want that one. I want the Ironman. I'm going to get there. I'll figure that out. Right? Good. All right. So are you guys getting a lot from this? Type below, like, what are the, takeaways that you guys got so far? I hope you guys getting a lot from this, and then, hashtag value for getting a lot. Looks like Max got to go. All right. Good to have you, Claudia. Good to have you.
Claudia says, always keep the fire burning.
Yes. And I know also, a lot of us, we're not just going through just, the sport. There's a lot of things going outside besides the surgery, right? Besides the sport, there's the family, relationship, finances, right? Just so many things, right? So I hope you guys got a lot from this. This is how we actually, stay powerful, how to train. When we say train, that's mentally, emotionally, and physically, during, before, during, and after surgery. And what we're talking about here is a lot of actually our mindset related. So this is what we do here in Ironman and Beyond. And us, Feisty Coaching, Coach Shangrila and Vinetta, and the rest of Feisty Coaching team, we serve busy high achievers all over the world. These athletes here, they want the Ironman. They have a big goal. And maybe for you, it might not be Ironman. It might be just finish a sprint triathlon, just like Andrea when she started. Or it could be just overcoming the fear of the swimming or the ocean, right? Or it could be, what if, coach, I just really want to get ready for surgery. What is this body maintenance that you guys are talking about? How are these athletes are actually able to recover fast? Like, what is this? Is this about stretching? Or like, for example, let's just say you have a 70.3 coming up and it's already what, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, and you feel like you're not there yet. I'm telling you, okay, these are the things that we can actually help you out right now. If you are in Ironman and beyond, you are actually, guess what? Privileged. Privileged. Why? Because that's what we give, is that we give you guys a free 15-minute game plan call. Okay. All you have to do is put hashtag game plan down below. And what we're going to do is just have a chat with you. Hey, what's up? And have a face-to-face and see what your next goal is. Okay. So now let's just say you have a 70.3 and like, okay, what's the biggest problem? How can we move that your worry out there and get you closer to your next big goal? Okay. I know it's 15 minutes, but I talk fast. I talk fast. I do a little research. And I'm like, okay, here you go. Because the thing about it is that what we do is that we have you focus. Guess what? We apply the 80-20 principle. Our method is called 80-20 rapid result method. How we do it is like, okay, right now, where are you at? What is the main thing that's going to get you the biggest result if you just focus on that? Right now, when Leo was going through their surgery, their biggest main thing is not about just, like going swim, bike, run. Their biggest thing is actually mental, keeping positive, keeping, hey, there's the Ironman coming up there, keeping healthy. Okay. That's their 80%. We were putting a lot of effort there, making sure that they're doing okay. So for you, if you have, for example, a 70.3, or let's say a sprint, or like you have swim, bike, run, coach, what's in here? 3. Yeah, we could answer you, help you guys out, with your strategy. If you want to have that call, it's only 15 minutes and it's all free, and we're not going to sell you anything because we don't do that on that 15-minute call. Just put hashtag game plan and then we can go from there. We get to meet you too. All right. You guys want to add something, Vinetta?
Yeah, that's awesome. And next training is coming up also on Wednesdays.
Next Wednesday.
We have these trainings every Wednesday,
5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Sometimes you get moved if our guest is not available, but we maintain it weekly, 5:30 p.m. PST. And let's see. All right. Everyone's happy. Now, before we let these two beautiful human beings go, we want to hear, okay, just a couple tips that you can give for athletes who were, like in the same position where you were at before. It could be like, maybe they're going through a setback or surgery. It could be that scenario, or it could be athletes that they have this big goal and they're being blocked by something in their mind that, I want to do this, but for example, for you, Leo, in the beginning, I want to get help, but I'm not quite sure if this is the right time, all those things. Or Andrea, you never even thought that you're going to be, training for an Ironman at all, like last year when you were in your beach cruiser, right? And then now you're like fearless. For some reason, you just like, with our help, you like transformed this powerful woman, right? So tell us some couple tips that you guys can share. Let's start with Andrea. What can you share? Like what are the top 2 things that you guys can share that our athletes in Ironman and beyond can actually get from you guys?
First things first is always have the end result in mind and work backwards. So if your goal is to complete an Ironman, a full Ironman in, let's say, August, just think, okay, am I doing these, am I capable of doing a full marathon now at this point in time? If not, how can I get there? Am I capable of doing a full 112-mile bike ride a month from now? Or am I capable of doing this? And if not, how can I build up to that? So it's just taking the steps to get to that. And it's also, the second thing is absolutely be fully aware of what you consume. Just what you consume and who you have around you. And so what you consume in terms of your the food, your environment, the people's naysayers. So especially your relationships. So if there's people that you love dearly, and that includes your family and your partner, you love them dearly, but if they're not supportive of you and your goals, you might have to limit those interactions or just create boundaries that are respectful towards you and your inner peace. So I give you that tidbit.
Awesome.
I like that.
Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. How about you, Leo? What are the top two things that you can share for our athletes?
Well, the first thing I would say is the mindset. Mindset. So the biggest thing that we put in our mind is we put limits in our mind saying that, hey, I know there's an Ironman, I want to do it, but it's too difficult, it's too long, I can't do it. You got to get over that. For me, that's what I did. I pretty much like, yeah, it's long, but you can do it. Train the right way.
Wow.
Have a positive mindset. You can put your mind to so many different things, and being positive will get you moving forward. And the second one is self-care, meaning the body maintenance, taking care of the body, eating the right way, as Andrea put it there earlier, and also recovering the right way. Get plenty of sleep. I know a lot of us are busy people, family, working all the time. So you got to find ways to, get that proper recovery. If that means I sleep early, then hey, sleep early. If you're, an hour waking up early in the morning, so sleep a little bit early, doing that way, eating the right foods that prevent inflammation, stretching, yoga, strength training, that all comes to mind to, taking care of yourself and self-care. So that's the key tips I can get the people out there helping.
Leo covered a lot too. My goodness, he covered mindset, training properly. And he did not just say training properly, swim, bike, run. He said, no, you got to eat right. You got to rest right. You got to recover right. You got to train properly, balance it out. And self-care, basically. Okay. Andrea also, she said, get to the goal and then work backwards. Andrea. Awesome. Nice. All right, everyone. Let's thank Andrea and Leo. Thank you so much for your time. If you guys got value from Leo and Andrea and on this training, put #value. Let's thank them. Everyone, thank you for staying with us and also for sharing this moment and enjoying this training. All right. Till next week, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. We'll see you all. Bye.
Bye, guys.